What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Day1Radio right here on Livehiphopdaily. I'm Maurice Garland. As always, I'm joined by Branden Peters. What's going on with you, man?
What's happening, bruh? Good to be back. We took last week off, had to handle some business, but we back at it. And you know, as always, man, we like to bring you stories that you've never heard before or bring you stories that you have not heard correctly. So this week, we are joined by a few members of the Grand Nationxl collective, not the group, but the collective.
Straight up.
If you guys are not hip to Grand Nationxl, you will get hip from this, and you will be going to listen to the project twice on Sunday, which is a banging ass project for sure. So,
and that's the actual name of it. He ain't saying that you're going. Well, you might listen to it twice on Sunday. Shit.
Yeah, no, that is the actual name of the project. Twice on Sunday. So, I just, I've been listening to it since they dropped it, man. Crazy project. Some of the dopest rappers from the Bay Area for sure. So I wanted you guys to introduce yourselves individually so our audience can get to know you, whether they're watching through our partners at CLNS and Live Hip Hop or listening on their favorite podcast app. So I don't know what order we're in on y'all screens, but I'm going to start from my screen at the top left. Say what's up to Brookfield Duece.
What's up? It's Brookfield Duece from Brookfield, East Oakland, California. Front Page Music, Grand Nationxl. What's that?
Yes. And ladies, Kate.
Okay.
Kate, you there?
Hey. Yeah, good to see you. I'm Kate Lamont. I'm here in San Leandro, California. Singer, songwriter, educator, everything music. Been doing it lately.
Dope. To my right on the screen, I think, was it say Sndtrak?
Yes, sir. What's going on, brother?
What's that?
Sndtrak from Oakland, California. Beatmaker, producer, part of One Day Soon Collective.
Dope.
And Grand Nationxl.
And Grand Now, of course. And Monty, fellow podcaster, Monty Draper. Shout out your podcast as well, please.
My man, appreciate you. Bonnie Draper, Richmond, California, Brave area, Grand Nationxl, and co-host of the Meet the Brave podcast. We record every Sunday, drop every Monday.
Dope.
Hey.
And finally, my homie, second time on the show, Kevin Allen.
Straight up. Richmond, California, Oakland, California. I don't have too many clicks and crews, but it's Grand Nationxl. You know what I mean? That's how we rock it.
Exactly. So, man, you from what I understand, like you reached out to a lot of artists and talking to Kev that you respect and wanted to work with in order to put this collective together. But like, this doesn't really happen often. Like, what in your mind was like, yo, I should get together with a bunch of talented people. We should work on a project and just create.
Just the influences. It felt like the world was kind of at a weird place, you know what I mean? And the vulnerability in music was kind of missing. And it was just one of those things where I'm like, I want to work on a project. I don't really have an idea for what way it's gonna go or how it's gonna sound. But I know a lot of dope rappers, and some of my homies know dope rappers that I don't know. And let's work together. Let's link up. That's like the catchphrase when you do music and you kind of, you fuck around and they really appreciate your style. So it's like, oh yeah, let's link up. But I want to link up with people that don't really link up. So I shot the text out and people like pulled up, and then it turned into something like way, way different than what I could ever imagine. Like, for one, a brotherhood, for two, and a sisterhood. Shout out Kate. You know what I mean? And just a real ecosystem and really tapping in, using each other's resources. So it's a beautiful thing.
So how did it come together once the text went out? Like, was it a thing where everybody that came just happened to be dope and cool, or was it also a thing where it's like, hey man, you weren't supposed to get that text. We actually fooled, bro. So like, how did it actually happen?
First I called it.
Breaking up a little bit, bro.
Money, and we had I think also DJ Basta. Oh, okay, you hear me now? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
let's start the
We good?
answer from the beginning again.
Okay. I shot the text out to the engineer, which is SK, a Slapwagon. So he has a crazy like vibe. There's a room that's it's just a vibe in there. So we were doing solo projects, and Money worked with him before. Like a lot of people in the crew already worked with him before. So it's kind of like, let's just piece up from there. And I hit him like, bro, like, you trying to win the motherfucking Grammy, or like you just gonna keep recording this bullshit all day? And he like, I'm let's fuck with it. I'm rocking with you. And then when we start playing each other's music, when we got to the lab, it's like, man, that's crazy. Let's cook up. Let's cook up. And then we started cooking. And it just started sounding like mature grown man rap. And everybody that stayed ended up on a project, like in some sort of way. If you came and you were consistent and you just really represented like bars, and you wasn't no punk about however you jumped in a booth, like you landed on a song somewhere. And maybe not on this project, but on the next one. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, we got joints with everybody on there. So
Okay. So for the recording process, did you guys start recording this last year, or was it during the COVID situation? Anybody can answer.
It was before.
Okay.
It was before, about October, November-ish. Everybody was just kind of, like he said, just kind of going through their own stuff. And we all put out music, but we've been kind of sitting around just being adults. And, you know, the Thundercat symbol hit the air, and, you know, all the wolves showed up. And, you know, the ones who wasn't wolves, they didn't stay. That's all. They just kept working. And then, fortunately for us, we had the clip ready during the pandemic. So it was just a matter of doing all the you know, like the technical stuff that people don't like doing. Like we always talk about how, you know, we all grew up creating music, and we spent all our energy trying to drop a single without talking to the fans and dropping videos before. And this time, because of the virus, we just created, and then when it was time to put it out, now we're doing like back promo with videos and such, which is actually the right way to be doing it. It's just everything that's happening is kind of like working out in our favor based on the way we believe from our old experiences. Like everything just working like it's supposed to.
Yeah, we were wondering how that worked out, because it was like I was like, I'm as dope as the project is, I was hoping it wasn't a situation where it's like, hey bro, I know we ain't supposed to be around each other, but fuck that shit. Let's all go to the studio. Let's all see each other in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, actually now, yeah, we were already just working. Like we were just in that space, like Duece was just saying. I mean, that's just how it go. Now it's like that. Now it's like we still cooking, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if one of us infected, we all already are. We've been around each other for the last 6 months, 7 months.
Right.
I think we're immune to that shit. I think.
Yeah, we are asymptomatic because nobody's sick.
It's hard to rap with a mask on. Huh?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Man, it's hard to do anything with a mask on.
For sure. So Kate, being one of the ladies of the crew, man, how was the writing and singing process, being around all these very strong personalities? She's shaking her head before she even says something.
No, because it's not the response you would expect, I think.
Okay.
In fact, kind of connecting that question to what you were talking about earlier about like, did everybody just show up and it was really, really dope? I mean, I think that energy that Kev and Duece and everybody's talking about, the energy of Slapwagon, but then of the people in the room that were definitely like on the same page in terms of what we were trying to accomplish, it just elevated everybody's game. So the quality level just went up across the board. And so, you know, I felt that like as a good kind of pressure to elevate my game. I kind of always have that philosophy anyway when I'm in the studio. I just want to you know, I'm competing against myself basically. And then in this instance, yeah, I mean, I guess in some ways I'm used to being the only girl in the room. Always want that to change. And I'm like, man, I need to figure out, like, that's a problem if I'm, you know, not figuring out how to add more women to the room. So I'm excited on the next series. You're going to hear more women for sure. But yeah, it's kind of the opposite. It's like, I would sort of ask them sometimes, like, oh, do you hear this? Do you hear something right there? Do you hear something right there? And they're like, it's kind of your job to hear it. If you hear it, go do it. You know what I mean? And so in a real way, they left plenty of space for me. And so really it was just about me, you know, kind of coming with my voice to the party, like, you know, yeah, I'm ready to try this and that. It was a good learning experience for me in that way.
Cool. Did you guys kind of like let the vibe dictate what was what? Because I know one of the issues that a lot of collectives or groups or whatever have is wanting to have everybody on every song, which is kind of unrealistic in this day and age, especially nowadays where people only have 2 verses on a song anyway half the time. So was it kind of like the vibe dictated like what verse stays on, what verse doesn't stay on, or whatnot?
Thank you, BP. That was a great question. Like, no egos, man. If we sense ego, it's not gonna work. It's for the betterment of the music. So if my verse don't sound right, I'm like, yo, take my verse off, bro. Or shorten my verse. This way it kind of fall off, or it's not keeping the attention. We also made the project kind of intentionally for adults. Sit down, listen to the album, clean your house. You can play it around, you know, teenagers. It's not a lot of bitch hole kind of music on there. So it's adult. So if you can't sit through 42, 43 minutes worth of music, it's just not for you. So we kind of knew who we were talking to. So even if it's 4 or 5 rappers on there, we tailored it to fit that mood, so you're able to kind of like sit through it. But as far as us go, yeah, if you start with that ego shit, it's just not gonna work. So yeah, we shut that down early. Like, everybody got bars in here, everybody can rap. We just trying to make the best project.
So that said, like, how did some of these songs, or really all of them, how they come along? Because I mean, you can definitely feel the adult feel to it. So going into these songs, was it a thing where it's like folks were sitting down like, hey, I have an idea, let's make a song about this? Or were these songs kind of like birthed out of just conversations that happened to be going on?
Yeah, hey, that's the crazy part, is that I don't think for any song, maybe 1 or 2 of the 26 or 27 we did, I think we just played the beat and we let the energy dictate, and whatever we wrote, we just recorded. And just by, you know, the grace of God, you looked up at the songs that we had and the topics were similar. It wasn't actually intentional at all. We just let the room speak.
That's dope. That's super dope. And I feel like that goes back to, like we were saying before we pressed record, you guys actually were in the same room recording, which doesn't really happen much in music anymore. Everybody's flying tracks here and there. So I feel like that, just that energy kind of dictated what was written for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Sending it, people jump in and they just kind of stay to their own corner. They send it back as long as it take them to send it back or whatever. But this was like, I got to get up, I got to write my bars, I got to go in there, and I can't suck because everybody in here is crazy, you know? So it made it all better. It wasn't like I'll get to it when I get to it. I do my own studio time. The sound was the same because we all recorded in the same place. It all made sense.
So
go
ahead.
I was gonna say that's kind of where the wolf mentality started to build from, is the homies and even Kate actually swarm to the booth. So it's whoever jumps in first, that's how the song goes. So whoever get done first, whoever's writing first, you start seeing the control get kind of small, you like, yo, back up off me. But everybody's trying to get to the booth. So Soundtrack could be cooking up while a whole nother beat is playing. So somebody might be like, man, fuck that song. I'm getting on this next one that he making a beat to in his headphones in the corner and start writing to that beat first. So they could be first on the other song on the next one. So just like this whole like wolf mentality. It was a strategic in there, man. You should have seen it.
That's
Rap camp. Rap camp.
I'm hoping that y'all videotape some of the sessions for content to drop later.
We got a little bit.
Got a little bit. All right. So Soundtrack, for you, like all of these folks have different styles, prefer to rap over different types of beats, different paces, all of that stuff. Like, how did you kind of craft beats that you felt like everybody would be comfortable on or that would stretch them as artists?
Well, honestly, for me, when I create, I make, whatever I feel for the week or the month or whatever. And whatever they choose to pick, I kind of build off of that. Early sessions, I think it was a lot of tracks being recorded from Basta's beats. So I kind of peeped like the style like they were going for, you know what I mean? And kind of shifted my production to kind of match that. So every session I would come back, with a new folder and kind of pick their brains and see what they were, what they gravitated to, you know what I mean? And then every week it just started gradually getting better. So, the first week they might pick like 2 out of 10, the next week they might pick 3, the next week they might be 5 for 5, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think, and then also with the recording process too, as far as cadences, I think, it's just kind of free for all. Like, they do what they do. I don't like to restrict or hinder their creative ability. I will mention things and give them cadences, to go with some of the songs. But yeah, as far as like the words, they plug everything in and just do their magic. You know what I mean? It was real natural, man.
Awesome.
I hope that answers the question.
For sure. No, you good.
Yeah.
The one thing I really liked is the project is super honest. Like that was very refreshing. Like you're not gonna hear nobody say, I would have gave you 16, but Instacart is calling. Like that's like you're not going to hear rappers say that. You're not going to hear rappers talk about having jobs. You're not like, that's just not a level of honesty that's really in hip hop right now. So like, was there, obviously it's kind of like I feel like you guys give off a like, fuck it, man, we just gonna record and see what comes of it. But was that a conscious effort to be like very honest with the music?
And them dudes was at each other's throat every session. That's what I'm saying. The first nigga in the booth had some heat. So as soon as he recorded, niggas was mad. They have to go in after that. So they're like, okay, let me go rewrite my shit real quick. You see niggas go in the corner and do it. Man, it was crazy.
Then taking pride in like me, Kev, Duece, like we talk about all the time, like taking pride in not having a lie in your raps. You know what I'm saying? Like we know some niggas and we see them outside of the studio, be like, bro, that is not accurate. So it's like it's a real pride thing. Like I ain't lied in a rap since 4th grade. I promise you. So it's like, I take pride in that, but it also is a testament to like where the hell we at though. We're in tech world, right? So the highs is high. Like the people who got bread for real. Yeah. And the niggas who don't got it. So every nigga I know do 10 to 15 different things just to break even every month. You feel me? Yeah. So it's not this, I don't know, bro. It's not just this black and white sort of, we do. No, nigga, I'm outside every day. And if I'm not up early, I don't eat. You feel me? So it's like, once I start realizing that, we start having different conversations. It's cats in the process of finalizing they house. It's niggas that's sleeping on couches. Like everybody experience is dramatically different, but somehow we shared a similar thread that everybody did 10 different things. Duece, A&R, write for everybody else. He might get to his music when he feel like it. He might shoot 10 videos. Duece do hella shit. Kev do hella shit. Everybody does multiple things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what you're hearing. In Kel's verse, is like the thesis statement of what everybody's into. I give you 16, but Instacart calling. That nigga was not making that up at all.
Yeah, that's real life. Like,
yeah.
You see how we rocking? Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like we made the album for reality. Like not the reality rap that we reality rap. We're gonna tell you about the guns and the drugs. We grew up on Hope, so we don't give you both sides of the coin.
Yeah,
it's easy to tell a nigga go shoot somebody, go sell some dope. But what happens after that? We don't want to be out here doing that. We want to get out of all of that. So we definitely felt like the space of like the big brother was missing out of rap. Like we felt the space of the younger uncle is missing out of rap, where the nephew can pull up on us. We don't actually give him the game, but not preach the head off. You know what I'm saying? We're not the nigga straight out the pen that's gonna give you all of the scriptures. We know a few scriptures, but we also gonna give you the real game. So I think that's where we trying to sit at. You know what I mean?
So when you guys describe this project as organic, I know a lot of times, that's a word that some people can misinterpret. Like, so some people, they may hear like, oh, the project was organic, and they just think, oh yeah, man, every song just got done in one take. Like, it just happened. Like, is that the case, or was there a lot of, like back and forth self-editing and things like that?
Man, cousin Faith is a perfect example of like how it just depends on what it is. Kev made me do my verse hella times. And I think that's the part of it that was organic. Like, you want to be the best for real. You want to be better. This is what it takes. So you thought that take was solid. No, that ain't it, bro. You didn't enunciate right there. Go say it. And Track is the same way. Like, Track, he lying when he say he just do this. Now that nigga Dr. Draper.
He a producer.
If it ain't tight, it ain't tight. And he ain't just gonna let you get in there and say anything like, bro, that ain't the line. And it was a real. I think that's what I'm proudest of personally. Is like allowing myself to be fluid and be coachable in the name of making the best shit. And so the proof is in the final product when my sister go, hey, bro, this the hardest shit I heard, but she talking about a bass line. She ain't talking about no lyrics at all. Yeah. She just start talking about like the words. She talking about the music. We raised on 2020 Tony, all like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm proudest of the fluidity of it all individually, and just allowing yourself to be coached by the tribe. And they hear and see things that you're not, because you in it, you personalizing shit, you might be emotional that day or whatever, like, nah, bro, this is why you should do it this way. Go do it. And then if you go try it, nigga, and it worked, that's why you should have listened, So it was, I think it's
Jordan was coachable.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. How did you, Kev, like, I hadn't heard from Mo Green in a minute. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, that's dope for sure. Like I pretty much grew up with Champ, so like I was glad to see him on the project. You know what I mean? So it was like, I thought it was ill. Like, I would have never expected to hear some of these voices, some of these styles on the project. So now that everything has come together, everybody heard it and loved it after you guys sequenced it. What were your expectations once you saw what it was going to, and once it's dropped, has it lived up to the expectations?
Man, my expectations were low. Like, we really like how organic the project came together. That surpassed my expectations right there. Like, being able to bring that many men and ladies, you know what I'm saying, but that many people together at one time. No arguments, no fights, no weirdness, no ego, just rap. And then they trusted the process and let go of it. We, tinker here and there, added live musicians. Monty brought in a crazy band, and I found like guitar player that we ain't seen in 10 years. Like, the whole shit was just, what are you doing outside standing right here, bro? Can you come tomorrow and lay the bass, lay guitar? Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
that's it. It's that easy. Like, it just really came together organic, and it sounds almost like a fairy tale. Like, so it coming out and it being received well, my expectations had been met when we left the studio. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? Just really keep my expectations in check and saying, yo, this could be something, it could be not. Let's just, let's work and see what happens. And it came together, man.
A lot of great albums. When you talk to the producers, the people that were involved, once people feel like they're on to something, they become very protective of the sessions. Was that the case with you guys? Because I know it started off with yo, come to the studio, let's see what's up. But as things started rolling and you guys started to gel, did y'all become very protective? Like, yo, don't invite no extra people, don't any of that?
A little bit.
I didn't.
A little bit, maybe. You know, like I think the ones that, I mean, like we've been saying, the ones that wanted to be there was there. So it wasn't like the door wasn't closed. Like if you was dope and you was a part of what we was trying to be a part of, then the door was open. But that was just from the initial, you know, bat symbol in the air. It wasn't like afterwards we were extra like just trying to bring in 1,000 people to continue, you know, flooding the room. It was like the mix that's in here is working, so let's just keep working. I'll see y'all next week. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Fairness,
Because the text went out to a lot. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In fairness, I personally kept reaching out to the people I thought made the most sense. Like it's I think the saddest part about moving back home was seeing how segregated everything was as far as the artist community. So the HBK niggas don't necessarily rock with the jazz scene, and the jazz scene don't necessarily mess with the smart bomb cats, and then everybody, like, it's hella segregated pockets, but it's really dope people. And so the more it kept developing, the more I was like, yo, I want everybody to get the experiences, and still, you know, be like, oh man, I'll be there and never pull up, only to have the record release and be like, oh man, why you ain't it? Why you ain't, man, come on, bro. Like,
that's always
you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it really, so I had to not just slightly respectfully disagree with my brother, like Duece, that now I kept reaching out because it was people that I knew needed to be in that room that didn't show up. And I know we you know, just to respect Kate being around, go men and ladies, but to go back to that point, I'm really, really proud of how the black men work together on this record. And I think even Kate would respect me saying that, because I think the narrative is completely flipped. Like they'll tell you a whole different story. Oh, we don't work well together. We don't do business well together. Whatever. That has not been my experience in art. This track, from Track, Duece, Kev, I've seen the most success in working with them. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I've tried all kind of different other facets and different partnerships, and it has never been this fruitful. And that's not even like, we ain't start generating no funds. I'm just talking about like growth as an individual, growth as an artist, all these different things. You feel me? So I would like to personally emphasize the black men collaboration aspect of this record.
For sure. Do you guys feel like this is a sound? I personally feel like this, but let me know what you guys think. That this is a sound that the masses have not heard from the Bay in a while?
Yeah. Yes. Every time.
Yeah.
I just think this time we figured more, you know what I'm saying, more heads is better than none. You know what I mean? We can do it by ourselves if we want to. We all self-sufficient, but that don't get us nowhere.
Yeah.
So together, we gonna tell you, I've been doing this. Money been doing this. Dude's been doing this. Green been doing this. Champ been doing this. Kel's been doing this. DB been doing it. Like, we gonna just keep, now all of us are telling you, look over here. Instead of just one person saying, look at me. And then he's saying, look at me. And he's saying, look at me. It's like, nah, let's really create an earthquake. Let's really see what we can do together.
For sure. With the merch, I think that's really dope. Like the whole rollout of the merch with wax, with t-shirts, with hats, with all of that stuff. Like, I feel like this is a new school type situation, but you guys are using some of the old tactics in a modern way in order to push the project. Speak a little bit about that.
The trunk babies, short, 40, Cairo, like that's where we come from. You know, I think in terms of independence, the story gets told, it's slightly different. You know, we'll rap a lot, No Limit and stuff, but P is retelling the No Limit story right now, and he'll be the first one to say he is where he got the game from. You know, so it wouldn't even make sense if we tried to do something and didn't pay homage to the hand-to-hand transaction and the grassroots approach. Track and I, we are also a part of At the Ave and pressing tapes and really going to do these small rooms in San Diego and Portland, like where only 30 people can fit in the galleries, and what you walk away from like, damn, we sold out every piece of merch we brought tonight, you know? So you don't have to cast this large general net to, you know, to be impactful, to see some economic growth in a particular instance. It really is being strategic about it. So, and then from the branding and marketing side, from a neurological standpoint, like Kev brought a whole nother aspect of branding in terms of things we needed to think about. Like, how do we want this to be received? Who is our demo? Things that I had never thought about and had the nerve to talk about. I've been doing music for 10 years and I never even thought about that shit in that light. And then Deezus, with her expertise and just her vision as far as the merch is concerned, like, bro, if that wasn't the ultimate blessing, like I really do think the music and everything else was elevated because of what the merch and the branding looked like. And shout out to Cut Tier 2, Daniel out in Hawaii. Like, it really was a team effort in making this look and feel like something. And all the pieces matter for sure.
Awesome. That's definitely what's up. So this is volume 1, which means presumably there'll be a volume 2 and a volume 3. So we said before we got on that, you know, this was approached like a television show. So what television show did you guys have in mind when y'all approached it like a television show, volume 1? And
Wire.
The Wire, okay. So that's dope.
Snowfall.
So The Wire every year.
Indeed.
It's the same show, but every year of The Wire was completely different. They tackled a topic. So for volume 2, what do you guys have in mind?
We don't know yet because we're about to give y'all this deluxe clip.
So how many songs on the deluxe?
How many you want, BP?
I mean, we got 9. You might as well give us 9 more on the deluxe.
All right, 18. Make it a solid 18.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Why not? Why not? Nah, I really hope that you know, more and more people listen to this. I feel like this is one of those projects that over time is gonna be like, you ain't heard that shit, man. You hella late. That shit came out whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I feel like it's gonna grow over time or whatnot, especially with all of you guys having your individual fan bases, your individual hustles and whatnot, and then building it collectively. Like, I think this shit is awesome for sure. Reese,
thank you, bro.
Me and Reese were talking about before we got on, there's multiple meanings in different communities. It's twice on Sunday. So what is the meaning?
Yeah, because some folks say it means, you know, a movie, going to movie twice. Some people say, you know, praying twice, and some folks say it mean fucking twice. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a triple entendre.
I mean, we
don't even ask me how.
I mean, we just think that we're all self-sufficient and dope artists, and twice on Sunday, every day we dope, but twice on Sunday we dope too, you know.
Shout out Champ Green. Like he a wordsmith beyond. He's a character. He's a whole entity by itself. And when he speak, like, you just tap in and you tune in. And that was something, you know what I mean? He just kind of kept rolling off the tongue, just twice on Sunday, man. We were just talking shit. And we like, man, a lot of people say don't sell dope on Sundays. And this Sunday is just this holy day. But for us, after your whole work week, you done got it in. Nah, we gonna work double time on a Sunday. This how we get it in. We not sleeping. We not giving niggas no break. We talking shit. We giving back to the community. Like, we love Black women. It's lit. Right, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Twice, everything 2 times.
Champ has always been the same, man. Like, he's been talking crazy for as long as I've known him. We grew up in the same church, right on 38th, so I've been hearing it a long time.
Straight up. So he been like this, man.
Oh,
okay,
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. So, dude, like we about to get up out of here, man. But I want you guys to please plug where people can buy the project, where people can stream it, where they can follow you on social. I feel like this is every now and again, man. It's a project that I really believe in, and I ain't even have nothing to do with, but I use my influence to let people know what's what. So why not use our platform to push it out? You know what I mean? So please tell people how they can support.
Yeah, I mean, every digital streaming platform, grandnational.com, the vinyl and merch is direct from there. Our YouTube is linked to the website, so you can see any visual content that we have available from grandnational.com. All of our names are, listed in the website, so you can find our Instagrams and such from there as well. But the front of the jersey is more important than the back of the jersey. So outside of telling you to go find me, just go find Grand National. And if it move you enough, then you'll find all the artists involved. But Grand National first.
And that's
great. Yeah, the national spelled with an X at the end.
Exactly.
That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Grand National, NATIONXL.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Extra large.
For sure. Well, man, Track, Kate, Kev, Monty, Brookfield Duece, I appreciate all of you guys for tapping in with us. And this went so smoothly. You can tell y'all work well together. Normally, you got a bunch of people on a call that sound crazy. This was excellent. I appreciate.
No, we Zoom professionals now. Zoom. let's mute the mic when it ain't our turn.
I appreciate.
We easily programmable humans, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
brother.
In. And we
you,
appreciate y'all for checking us out. Make sure you follow us on Day1Radio. That is DAY1 Radio on all your social media platforms. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, everywhere else you can get podcasts. And make sure you subscribe to Livehiphopdaily on YouTube. Like these videos, share these videos. We'll see y'all next week with another dope show. Peace.
Straight up.